You're rocking with the voice of Town View. We put our spin on trending topics and school news. Thought-provoking, insightful, we speak the truth. We do it for all ages, not just for the youth. Listen close, you might learn something. Or laugh so hard, you split your side of something. Live stream a podcast. Whenever you tune in, it's sure to be a blast. Let's be honest, you don't want to miss that. Content so real, you gonna want to run it back. We keep you entertained while making an impact. Want foreign announcements? Well, this is not that. Sports, pop, culture, political. Whatever you like, we got you covered, bro. It's a movement more than just a show. It's KSBM Radio.
I'm closer to the music.
Broadcasting live from Marvin E. Robinson School of Business and Management, Dallas, Texas.
My radio station.
We are KSBM Radio, the voice of Townview.
Hi, welcome to KSBM Radio, the voice of Townview. I'm Violet.
I'm Jelly.
I'm AD.
I'm Dulce.
I'm Rosie.
Welcome to Open House 2023. So, how are y'all feeling?
Excited? I'm feeling pretty good. Just a little, tired.
Yeah, just a little nervous. It's been my first show in a while, so.
That's true.
I'm good. I'm just a little tired.
All of us, yeah.
I feel good. I mean, I did Open House last year, so it's nothing new. It's really the same. So yeah. So how y'all feel about y'all's cluster?
I think I did good picking midshipman's class. I feel pretty good about choosing marketing. I think that it shows you so much about not only doing hosting right now, but you get to learn social media and, well, basically if you chose marketing, you get social media marketing. But I think it's good.
I think I chose the right cluster too because it gets you out there. It gives you that push that you need sometimes because I needed that push, honestly. You get more comfortable being around cameras and being around other people and also teamwork because I used to do everything by myself, so teamwork also did help.
Yeah, honestly, it did take me a while to get adjusted to this, but I am glad that I joined this cluster because honestly I suffered a lot with social anxiety and this is basically live streaming to a bunch of people, so it was a really exciting opportunity to really be able to face my fear, and it's helped me a lot because now I'm a lot more social than I was before, and it's I
definitely feel like I made a good decision. I think I enjoyed this more than I would have enjoyed the other clusters. Definitely, gives me outlet to talk about some of the stuff that I like.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so enough of small talk. Okay, so it's open house, and open house is when people come, they see what Townview is all about in all our schools. So we're at Marvin E. Robinson Business and Management, and basically business is the key to everything. So we believe that you need to work together and be able to have collaborative thinking, and basically everything leads back to business. So yeah.
I kind of have a question for you guys. Do y'all have any good memories from this cluster? Something you really, really liked, you enjoyed?
Yes. I feel we made a lot of memories, mostly with us as sophomores. I remember being in midshipman's class and being so scared not to turn in something in time that we would all just kind of huddle and rush. But then at the end we would be it was we look back on that and then we'll just be that honestly gave us a sense of time management. Yeah. Honestly, sometimes we'll laugh about it or we'll be oh my god, midshipman, remember when you used to give us 4 assignments and they were due at the end of class and we laugh about it now, but back then we were just so nervous to submit things because we were kind of new. We were really new to the program. We were 15? I think
15,
yeah. 15? We were all 15 at the time, and it was just, and now it's a funny memory to look back on because midshipman will even say I kind of did push y'all a little bit more so you guys could get adapted to the program. Yeah, she does those things on purpose. So honestly I'll say that's one of the funny memories, but like at that time it was like, why is she giving us so much
Stressful.
work? Yeah.
I feel like for me, one of like the good memories, well, it's not even one good memory, but more, I feel like I agree with you on saying that we had more difficult times like for sophomore year, and it was a lot to get used to. But now junior year is getting more fun because you get to do the things that you were already promised to do like last year, you know. And all of us, we've been planning kind of like hangouts recently. We're like, we should hang out because Ms. Shipman keeps telling us just like, you guys need to hang out like the seniors, and we're like, maybe. And then the Secret Santa, we're doing that too, so that's fun. Good memories.
Most of my favorite memories have come from this year. Like sophomore year was just a lot, you know, and I definitely, when I got to do the locker room, the sports show, that was definitely like doing the first show, and then I guess the 10-year anniversary show. Those are probably one of my favorite parts.
I'd have to agree with Aiden. Like a lot of my favorite memories have to come from this year. Like when sophomore year hit and like you really get into your cluster and stuff, I'd have to say that it was the time that I immediately thought I want to switch.
Yeah.
Because that workload was not, it didn't feel like I was doing anything business related or like to what I chose. Especially junior year, we weren't as advanced as y'all were because like Ms. Shima said, we didn't really hang out like she wants y'all to. We didn't really hang out. We didn't really get along as great as we should have. And so this year, with like everyone who didn't want to be in here, like how they got out and went to co-op, so now it's everyone who really wants to be in here. I feel like we got a lot closer in that like, yeah, we argue and stuff, and we may not all have the same opinions, but we're definitely like closer and like it feels more like a family. Like I feel like we'd have each other's back. And so I think one of my favorite memories is like, I don't know, I say like just first and fifth, like just being together. So yeah,
I think like what they said. Some of my favorite memories have been like really recent, so like this year, and yeah, we were divided, but like now like we're all like super close. So like I guess my favorite memory I think is when actually like a few days ago, like being able to decorate all of this with all of the KSBM members and like being able to like share our ideas has been like super fun, and like, you know, we've gotten to know each other a lot more than we used to.
Yeah, I think it's also because like we're only like 11. Well, the juniors are only like 11 people, and like the seniors are 10. Yeah. But I feel like it's like we're just kind of put in a situation that it's just like we like kind of have to grow closer to each other to like make things easier. And I feel like I don't know, like I feel like it's more like less like, oh yeah, like we're here because like we have to be here, and like more forced. Of like, oh, like we're here because like we want to be here, and like we want to like get along with each other. Or like sometimes like we'll be just like you said, like the Christmas decorations, like making the little like the stockings was okay, kind of fun, mostly because like we just like spend time with each other, and like we're able to like know each other more.
Yeah, I honestly completely agree, because last year we had 14, 15 people maybe, and a lot of those people we didn't go as far as y'all went because of those people not wanting to be here and not wanting to get along and clicking up. And yeah, y'all definitely have a major improvement from what we had. We literally weren't even starting to do shows until this year, honestly. And so like I didn't plan to come back, you know, when I graduated, but I just want to see how y'all are next year, because I feel like you're going to do so good.
Yeah, like the junior year, I mean, the juniors have been like really good this time. Like all of y'all are really inclusive, and you hang out and y'all include us as well, and it's been really amazing.
So today we have a little special, I guess, you know, kind of episode where we're going to invite teachers, and our first teacher is Mr. Abernathy, so he's going to come in and talk. So yeah,
we'll give him a second.
He's our AP Psychology and AP Sociology teacher, so yeah.
He's a really cool teacher.
Yeah, I had him sophomore year. Yeah, I had him sophomore year, and I've honestly never been more into a class in my life. Especially, like thinking, like I always thought psychology was a major you just took to like go to college. But it's really nice. So yeah.
I was supposed to take psychology this year, but you know how they had a lot of trouble like changing schedules and stuff at the beginning of the year? I didn't get psychology. And I really want to take it. Hopefully next year I get that. It's just like an interesting class to take regardless of if you're in college or not. And if you're in high school and you get the opportunity to take a psychology or sociology class, I feel like you should definitely take that opportunity.
Oh yeah, little key point, take as many classes as you like, fun classes though.
Yeah,
like classes that you know you will enjoy in the long run.
Like, don't fill your schedule with a bunch of hard classes that's not gonna be fulfilling or enjoyable for you. Have fun a little bit.
Yeah, also like just do what you feel like is best for yourself. Like, I know that like I remember like also kind of being pushed to do certain classes, and like I didn't really enjoy them at the time. But once like you do classes that you like or enjoy, or you see an interest, do classes that you see an interest, because high school will go so much smoother if you do classes that you enjoy and don't have to be forced to.
So welcome our guest, Mr. Abernathy.
Thank you very much. If I can get situated here. I feel really high up. Yeah, thanks for having me. What do you guys want to talk about?
Basically, like, you know, what your position is, and like how long you've worked. Just a little bit about you and your job.
And your class.
Yes.
Well, for the last 5 years, I've been here at the SBM at Townview, and I've taught AP Psychology every year. I've got 6 sections of that this year. I love teaching that class. It's my favorite thing to teach. My students have been great all 5 years I've been here, and if I could pick anything to keep doing for the rest of my time as a teacher, I would love to continue to do that. It's really a lot of fun. Before I came to SBM, I was at Adamson, where I taught in the Collegiate Academy there. And before that, I lived in Oklahoma and taught up there for quite a bit before I made my way down here.
So what would you say like your favorite experience here is at Townview or business?
Do you mean just in general, or
Just
like a particular example?
A particular example.
Well, my favorite thing that I've done since I've been here, I also coach the mock trial team, and I really enjoy going to the competitions in January. We've got a big competition coming up right after our Christmas break. That's always a lot of fun. Before I became a full-time high school teacher, I was a lawyer. So getting to work on mock trial gives me an opportunity to kind of go back and do some of the things I did before I became a teacher. And I love working with the team members. They're really good. They do a great job, and it's just a lot of fun to kind of see them experience those new things.
What is like a growth you've seen from your first year teaching at Townview from your most recent years?
A growth for me or for
Like
SBM
from your
or
classes,
for what?
like how have they evolved over the time?
Well, I've gotten a lot better at teaching over the last 5 years. I know that. I feel bad for the students I had that first year as I was kind of learning how Townview works and how the psychology class I was teaching works. But now I really feel comfortable with the stuff I'm teaching, and I know the kids so much better because I've seen them for the last 3 or 4 years. So I have a relationship with a lot of them already. So when they come to my class, I've got a little bit of a head start. And I feel like I've gotten a lot better. I've had a lot of students who have graduated in the last couple of years who've gone on to major in psychology, which I think is just great. And I'm excited that they found something they were interested in that I taught that led them to choose to study something like that.
What led you to choose teaching psychology and sociology?
I really kind of accidentally fell into it. I've always been a history teacher. I don't have a background in psychology. My undergraduate degree is in history and economics. And ever since I've been teaching, I've taught either history or some history class, any class that you can think of in history, I've taught that. And I've taught a few business law classes as well. But DISD recruited teachers who had advanced degrees to take some additional classes so we could get certified to teach dual credit. And I took some psychology classes at A&M Commerce, and the district paid for it and got me all set up to teach dual credit classes. And then SBM posted a notice that they needed a psychology teacher, and I called up and within a couple of days had the job, and I just sort of lucked into this spot. I never expected to be teaching a class like that, but I really love it. So it's been a really good match. I got to get some advanced studying done, and then the district put me in a spot where I could really use that. So that's how I ended up here. And I don't want to do anything else.
Okay. Yeah. How do you feel like your background in law helps you with what you do now?
One of the things that you learn to do if you're a lawyer, particularly somebody who goes to court quite a bit, who spends a lot of time arguing, is you learn how to think on your feet. And, I think I could argue about just about anything for at least a little while, and I can talk. One thing lawyers can do, I guess other people can do it too, is they can sort of talk about nothing for a while, to fill some time. So being a lawyer for about 15 years, that really got me used to doing that, thinking on my feet. And then that's a skill that's really useful as a teacher too, because you never really know what's going to happen in class. I can remember having Deshaun in class and planning to talk about some things or do certain things. Then we come in and somebody asks a question, or we get off on a different topic and we end up doing something completely different, which is great. But having worked for so long, having to kind of jump from one thing to another and being comfortable, not necessarily being super prepared for everything, was something that really has helped me a lot being here. And the students here are so great because they have such varied interests, and everybody has something that they're good at, whether it's academics or athletics or music or something else. So the students here, I love coming to work every day just to be around the students, because they are so different and so focused, and just generally good people to be around. So I love coming here. I can't say that about all the jobs I've ever had, but I love coming to class here.
What is some advice that you would give the incoming freshmen, like debating if they want to take your class?
Well, one thing I try to tell all my students is that they should, not just in school, but in life in general, try to put themselves in a position to take advantage of opportunities when they come along. And one of the great things about psychology is that it applies to just about everything people do. So if you're going to be a business person or a lawyer or a scientist or a teacher or anything else, you have to deal with other people, and you have to be able to explain to them in terms they understand what you want them to know. And psychology is so useful regardless of what you end up doing in your ultimately for your career, because it just teaches you about people and how they behave and how you can get the most out of them. That's one of the great things about it. So everybody that comes to Townview, whether business students or other students, can benefit from a class like that, because you can learn things not only just about psychology, but how to make you a better person and how to interact with people better, how to be a better student too. So everybody who comes to class, I tell them, some students are there because they get put there. Some are there because they really love the subject. Some are there for some reason in between. I hope that everybody who comes through my class walks away knowing at least one thing that they can do better because of being in that class. So that's the great thing about it. If I had to do over again, I'd probably major in psychology as an undergrad, because I had no idea I would love it as much as I do.
I feel like they should definitely bring more psychology teachers, because the places in psychology classes fill out so fast. Because I was telling them how I wanted to be in psychology class, but because of the schedule changes and everything, they kept messing that up, and I was like,
That's true. My classes are all above 30. So, and anybody who wants to come in, who comes to me and say, "Hey, can I get in your class?" I always say yes. If you want to come in and be a part of the class, I'm happy to have you. So they usually start out, around 28 or 29, and then we bump them up. A couple of them have 32, I think. But it would be great to have some more opportunities to do that. Generally, I have mostly seniors and juniors, and they tend to do better simply because they've had more science classes, so have a little bit better science background, although that's not absolutely necessary. But this year I've had quite a few sophomores, and they've done well in the class too, so it would be great if we had a few more sections. I don't think I can handle teaching anymore. I've got enough right now, yeah.
I don't know if I could do anyone else teaching psychology. I don't know. Mr. Urban, he does it the best, so I don't know.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You were a great student too. You were fun to have in class.
I had you in the class before. I was put in there, but it was really interesting. I didn't think I would love psychology as much as I did, but because of you, I was able to learn a lot more. And I think a core memory is whenever you made us do the matcha powder thing.
Oh yeah.
It was horrible, but at the same time, it was really interesting.
Yeah, that's one of the lab activities we do. I give everybody this powder made out of green tea leaves, and it turns off your ability to taste sweetness for, well, just until you get it rinsed out of your mouth. So usually it's like 5-10 minutes. And then I have people try M&Ms and Skittles. This year I had some people try some milk and some fruit juice. And you get a chance to see what things are like if you turn off one of your senses. So one of the things we don't really fully grasp is how everything we do is not just everything we perceive about reality. It's a combination of all sorts of different things. And if you take one of those things away, it really radically changes the way you see the world. And that's always a fun thing to do. I really like it because that stuff it doesn't taste bad, but it doesn't taste good either, right? Is that what you were saying, Hannah? Yeah. And it's a very odd feeling if you get your mouth coated with that and you try something that's usually really sweet, and it just doesn't taste that way anymore. And it can give you a sense of how all the stuff we eat and drink are really a combination of complex flavors. And you take one thing out, it just really helps you pay attention to things that maybe you wouldn't pay attention to before. But I like that activity too.
Okay, now going back on you saying that you had like a class of 30 students, what would be some challenges that you faced through teaching? You said 5 years, like around 5 years?
Yeah, this is my 5th year.
Yeah, so what would be some challenges that you've seen, that you faced in that time period?
You mean because of, just in general? Or because
yeah, in general. It could be any...
One of the challenges here at Townview is we have students. I teach students from all the schools here, not just business. Most of my students this year are business students, but I have others as well. So one of my challenges is taking in these students, not just my business students that have different focuses and different things they're interested in, but also students from the other schools who may be focused on things that are, I don't know anything about. So. That's one of the things I like too. Like I have students who are health students or who are students at science and engineering who can say, "Hey, we did something like this in my advanced health class or in my one of my engineering classes." Business students do that too. A lot of people who've taken sales and marketing will talk about how there's a lot of similarities between psychology and those subjects. Sometimes it's challenging for me to remember that I have a very diverse group of students that come to me with very varied backgrounds. There's a lot of difference between a 15-year-old sophomore student in, say, health versus a senior engineering student or a junior or senior business student, because they just have really different backgrounds. They take different classes, they're interested in different things. So it's a challenge for me to try to pull things together in a way that keeps all of those students engaged and yet still gets across the stuff that we need to get across.
Okay, so to go back, I'd like to know how SBM changed, like, over working, because I know we've had a lot of principals changed and just staff in general, so how has that been?
Well, it's been challenging for that reason, and also because my first year here was the first COVID shutdown, when we shut down in March. So last year really felt like the first normal year. So that's been, last year was great because it was kind of like this normal year. It's the first time I really felt like everything was back kind of the way it should be. So that's been a challenge, but there hasn't really been anything that I felt like I haven't been able to do or deal with. And I think one of the reasons for that is that even though we've had some turnover in our principals, which happens, if you wait long enough, everybody moves on somewhere. But the core group of teachers we have here has been here for a long time. And this is my 5th year, but I mean, that doesn't even come close to some of the folks that have been here, 10, 15, 20 years. So being able to rely upon their knowledge of how SBM's worked in the past and what we've done well and what we haven't done so well, that has really helped me too. So being able to rely, particularly on the CTE teachers here who've been here for a long time, like I'm sure you guys know them probably better than I do because you've been in those classes. But just being able to say, hey, how do you handle this problem? Or what do you do with this? And they can say, oh, Abernathy, here's how we've dealt with that before. So that's been really good. And I like that. I've worked in schools where teachers just kind of come and go for a year or two. That doesn't seem to be the way here at all. People come here and they stay. One, because it's a good place to work and students are good, but also because the teachers here really seem to work well together and support each other too. I like that a lot.
Do you have any fun memories that you've made with your students, or had really bonding moments with them?
Some of my mock trial team members, we spent a lot of time together outside of school, and we've had a good time just kind of hanging out, waiting. I can remember we had a field trip about a month ago on a Saturday, and just hanging out with those students when we came back here, waiting for their folks to come pick them up. That's a lot of fun, where you just no pressure, you're sitting around just kind of talking, really get to know people that way. I've liked that a lot, and I wish I had more opportunities for that. But we have a very full schedule, and we have a lot of stuff to do. So when you get a chance to have those kind of personal, informal moments, I really like those a lot, because it gets me. I can really see who people really are. Not as a teacher and a student, but just two people talking about what they like, what they don't like.
Would you say that's kind of the most rewarding part of your job, just seeing how?
Oh yeah, I love working with. I'm going to fall out of my chair. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to laugh if I do, but please pick me up if I can't get up. I love working with young people. I have always liked that. And when I was in high school, I knew I wanted to be a lawyer and I wanted to be a history teacher. And I've gotten to do both of those. And of the two, I love being a teacher, just because I get to see young people who, for the most part, are anxious to learn stuff. Maybe they're not like that every day, but people here are anxious to learn, and they don't just come to school because they have to. They come because they want to learn things and find out how to do things new. I love that. That's energizing, and it kind of keeps me young too. I like that.
Would you say there's a bond that you've created with the teachers here that are in business?
Sure, particularly the folks that I have worked with more. Like the other history teachers, Mr. Treviso, Ms. Anderson, Ms. Taylor, Mr. Roman, those folks been teaching longer than I have. They know a lot of stuff, so they've been a good resource for me when I've needed some help.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Abernathy. We've enjoyed your time here, and honestly, I hope all of y'all join his class. He's amazing, so yes.
Well, great. Thank you very much, and really happy you gave me a chance to talk and get to see you again. I saw you nearly every day last year, and it seems so strange not to see you here now.
Yes.
So invite me back anytime.
Of course. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, we're just going to take one picture.
Oh. All right. Thanks a lot.
So
Thank you. Okay, so yes, that was Mr. Abernathy, and I think he kind of talked about cluster teachers, or that's our CTE, and we have 5 clusters here.
6.
6? It's not 6.
You're talking about the school in general, as a whole, or
No, I'm
business?
talking about cluster.
Oh,
Our
business.
has.
Oh,
2, 3, 4.
because we have
We have a pathway.
Yeah, we have a
6
pathway.
6 pathways.
So
Yes.
one would be Sanders. That's
Accounting.
accounting. That's
She was
accounting.
You're fine.
Shipment, of course.
Is social media
KSBM.
Yeah, social media marketing.
Mr. Miles is
Real estate.
Real estate.
Real estate. And then we also have our
Entrepreneurship.
which is Miss Ham in the EVD, where you have little shops and you can, have your own business. And then we also have sports management, and you can learn how to manage sports organizations and how to do marketing, business law, and ethics, and also business leadership.
And there's web development and gaming, which is Mr. Olson. And
That's
you're
like
basically
the
doing
IT
coding and
That's
stuff like
IT,
that.
yeah,
That's
that
IT.
would
Yes.
Yeah.
go with IT.
She's telling us to read it exactly off the paper.
Okay.
Okay. Should have done it in order.
Correct.
Correct name for IT.
Web development.
I did. Yeah, it was
and
web development
gaming.
and gaming. Yeah.
Web development.
Oh, web development and gaming.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We also have many activities and organizations like Honor Society. We have Skills USA. We have DECA, yes, and Business Professionals of America, which I'm in right now, which is really exciting.
I mean, if you want to do DECA, I think you just have to talk to Mr. Miles because your sophomore year, you get to ask him about it.
Definitely. You can sign up for any of them at any time, usually.
Okay, so I think we kind of rushed over. Miss Goodson. Miss Goodson runs DECA. She's our new she's our DECA.
Miss Goodson runs.
She's our DECA coordinator. And so I think we should go back a little bit more and explain all the pathways because we kind of just named them
Rushed
off.
over them.
So we're gonna start. We're gonna start with entrepreneurship. Sports management. We're gonna start with sports management, and okay. So sports management is it's the pathway that allows you to manage sports organizations, and it focuses on sport management that includes business management, marketing, business law, ethics, and then business leadership. It is it's very fun. It's like management for football, like those people who
like a general manager type situation.
they plan the events, they plan the tickets, the day, like all that kind of stuff, and it kind of helps you learn skills like organization, people skills, facilitating, marketing strategies, and sport related events.
All right.
Next up, we have entrepreneurship with Ms.
Ham.
With Ms. Ham, yes. So one of the biggest programs we have on here is the EVD, I think.
Yes.
The EVD, yes.
The EVD. Well, entrepreneurship prepares students for executive management through experience learning and management theory, human capital management, and small business development. So this program will be is in partnership with Dallas College. And one aspect of the program is the creation and operation of the Enterprise Business District, a program created to give hands-on practicum experience in business development.
Don't look like you're reading.
All right. So the next cluster we have is accounting and finance. That is Ms. Sanders. Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped over one. The next one is real estate, and it's run by Mr. Miles as well. It is complete. He's a teacher. No, I'm a teacher. It's basically like you're obtaining your own real estate license, in essence. You're obtaining the ability to become basically a salesman of some sorts. Definitely helps with maybe communication skills and things of that. So, yeah.
Okay, so in depth, it's not some salesperson, it's a real estate salesperson, and you're gonna discover like real estate, like real actual events, like making sure all the properties are in the right place, making sure that the money is going into the right properties, and that the people who have that real estate are basically, it's like a competition. Like it's more of a competition marketing instead of social media marketing. So yeah.
Yeah, real estate is a pretty competitive. I would say it's competitive because you do have to realize, do have to know if the property will go up in value or down in value, and if you actually do become a real estate agent, that can affect you very, very drastically, because if you buy multiple properties that will go down in value, you just lost so much money. Right. So I feel like it's just, you decide your cluster within what your interests are, and if you are a very competitive person, or you feel like you could work good in a competitive environment, because there is like students or people that do work better when they're pressured or when they're in a competitive environment. I would personally say that would be that should be the cluster, one of your options in your cluster. So yeah.
Pathways.
So
the curriculum necessary to provide the pre-licensed education requirements of the Texas Real Estate Commission is something that real estate does. So it basically helps you. Like a lot of the things that we do in our pathways help us to end up doing what we really want to do
in the real world.
The next pathway is accounting and finance, which is taught by Ms. Anders. Accounting and finance students learn how to create and analyze financial data for internal and external stakeholders while earning transferable college credits. Y'all bear with me, my bad. But, okay. Oh, well, actually, if you get certified on Microsoft Word and Excel, those would really help you because a lot of what accounting is a lot of, like, math. It's not, like, difficult math. It's pretty simple math. But I feel like if you're going to get into, like, banking and any sort of job like that, you definitely would choose accounting with Ms. Sanders.
Yeah, and all of the certifications you get when you're in SBM as a whole, because in all of the different pathways, you do get a lot of certifications. So in those certifications, like, they will help you in your future. Some of them are 2-3 years they're valid for, but you won't have to spend that extra money in those certifications if you do end up passing the class. Because how it works is if you pass the class, you get your credit as well as if you pass the test. Mm-hmm. But if you do end up choosing the pathway that you are passionate for, you could get that certification, and that would help you when you get out of high school.
Which I think you get the certifications with freshman and sophomore year.
Yeah.
So you get them out of the way pretty, like, quick.
Yeah, you're pretty young.
Junior as well, too, yeah.
Yeah, you usually get Microsoft Word and Excel your, like, freshman year. And then sophomore year we have Photoshop and
Excel and Access.
Yeah, design. Okay. So the next one we have is basically what we do. So it's social media marketing, and that's KSBM Radio. I know social media. So what we do in KSBM Radio is we we do this here, and it's helped me at least to develop skills like, well, I wouldn't say being more outgoing because I'm already outgoing, but like definitely work as a team. I don't like working with people, but it's definitely brought me like
closer to doing so, or closer to
you.
No.
Okay.
Well, you're working
Restart.
on it.
Okay. It's definitely helped me understand that no matter what in life, you have to work with people, and that you're going to need to develop communication skills and understand that not everyone communicates the same way. So also my anger issues. It definitely helped me with my anger issues because you have to communicate how you feel with people, and you can't just scream at them.
Yeah, we've been able to create a bunch of campaigns for this school, and honestly, I've learned a lot more of what to do since coming into this cluster. So like social media posts, talking in public, these were things that I had no idea how to do. Mm-hmm. And being able to be in this cluster has helped me learn how to market the things that I want to do, and then like learn how to market like podcasts and stuff like that. And it's been very interesting.
I think
I'm so sorry.
You go.
I feel like also KSBM has opened a lot of pathways for a lot of us, because we have like interviewed like billionaires, like very important people in the industry, and I feel like some of us have learned from it, as well as it kind of puts you in a position where another person's talking to you, another person's giving you like specific advice, and I feel like it opens up your perspective from certain things.
Okay, so next we have our second teacher. So, yes, come on in.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Everybody's having trouble getting on the chair.
Yeah, it's rough.
Okay, so please introduce yourself.
Can I put this on?
Yeah.
I mean, if he wants to.
It just shows like how you sound. It tells you how you sound.
My name's Alvino Gonzalez. I go by Mr. Gonzalez, obviously, as a teacher here. What else?
Okay, so can you please tell us something? can you please tell us like what your job is?
What class do you teach?
So I teach AP Human Geography. This is my second year here. I taught World Geography last year, so I teach the kids about how humans interact with the environment, really. That's all the class is about.
You said this was your second year?
Yeah, this is my second
business?
year. Yeah, in business, yeah.
Okay, so what are some things that you've seen that you've changed in your classroom from your first year here?
Well, just getting more decorations up. my first year, I didn't have anything up. It was like bare. I could see my kids were bored just looking at these white walls.
I saw
So I
the
put up
room.
more decorations. Just being more comfortable with building relationships with students was a big thing. Because even though I'm the adult, it was still a little awkward. My first year, my very first day, incredibly awkward. But just being able to talk all the time, I get more used to it.
I know that 2 years is kind of short, but do you have any memories, like really fun memories that you've made during those 2 years you've been here?
Yeah, and honestly, the fun memories is just like during lunch, whenever the kids come in, and just those conversations, hearing them talk with each other, them interacting with me. Those are the memories that I value a lot. Just those little moments of those little conversations that we have.
Yeah, I remember going into your classroom with one of my friends. I remember she was in your AP, in your class, her freshman year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Meadow.
Meadow? Yeah.
I remember coming into your class and just like my memory was just like you were just huddled up with like a bunch of girls, just like with students.
Hold up.
Wait, recap.
Oh yeah, it's just.
It was funny because like you would just sit there and then
sit there, like,
and then they would be picking at your food.
Yeah, they would just take my food. If I had some like chips or anything, you gotta pay the tax.
Why was this happening?
It's just I don't know these kids. They don't want to eat in the lunchroom, so they just ask to come eat in my room, and I just allow them.
No, yeah.
Okay. So one of the questions is, you're a younger teacher. What do you feel like is different as being a younger teacher compared to like all these teachers? Because you're younger than majority of them.
Yeah, I mean it's a little weird whenever like talking about pop culture stuff, my music taste is just way more similar to my students than it is to my coworkers, and so it's just weird. Like I remember my first day, I just did like a little presentation of just about me, the things I like. I listed off a bunch of artists that all the kids like, but when I show up to the faculty meeting, I'm talking about the Playboy Cardi concert I went to, and everyone's like, what? It can be a little weird, a little jarring that I just have a lot more in common with my kids.
It's so funny. One of my friends posted a picture of you with the little bird. I was like, oh wow, okay.
I'm just way more in touch with current pop culture stuff than the other teachers, so that can be a little weird.
Do you feel like that has made you grown closer with your students, being able to have that connection with them than other teachers would, because you are younger?
Yeah, for sure. Age is a big thing that separates people, right? Even within the same race, even within the same communities, age is something that separates people a lot. So just being closer to my kids' ages, I can understand their humor more. I can have things involve things in my lessons that might connect to them more.
Have there been any struggles you faced since coming into this school? I don't know, any?
Yeah, especially so I showed up with a full beard and stuff. Whenever I shaved it, man, I can't use the elevators without teachers telling me, "Hey, are you a student? Why are you in the elevator? Why?" That's been a struggle. And also just being comfortable. Being comfortable being an authority figure that I wasn't, because I don't know if y'all knew this, but I attended the Law Magnet. I graduated from Law Magnet.
Okay.
I attended from 2014 to 2018. So that was also weird, just adjusting, because I knew this place as a student, and just adjusting and changing my mindset that now I'm an authority figure, I'm a role model here, yeah.
But do you definitely think being already familiar with the school definitely helps you with what you're doing
definitely.
now? Okay.
Especially understanding the having 6 schools in a building. You know, it's not something that other teachers coming from, you know, comprehensive schools have trouble like adjusting, like that these schools are separate but they're together. We have the same classes but we compete or whatever. So having known that dynamic already as a student, I as a teacher, that it made the transition easier.
So how does it feel not only coming back to Townview, but coming back to Townview as a business teacher? Like, what made you come back to Townview?
Well, all my law kids think I switched sides on them since I was a law student and now a business teacher. But coming to business, it's interesting, you know, as I've always looked at business from the outside, but looking at the programs and looking at all the different opportunities, just like this. Right now, the other schools, they can't brag about this.
Yeah. We're the best school. We're the best school.
That's what's up.
Do you see yourself like? Do you have moments with certain students that you're like, I was in your exact position, like I can relate to you so much? Like, do you get like those deja vu moments, like I thought I had the same mentality as you? Like, do you have those moments with your students?
Yeah, so I was like, you know, I was kind of nerdy in high school in terms of like I wanted to get an A, like and below, and also I'm coming from an immigrant household, so like an A was the only thing that was acceptable.
Yeah.
And so I see like some of the kids that were just struggling, like, you know, trying to bump that B, like from an 85 to an 87, trying to bump it up to a 90, like those moments of like just trying, like, you know, harassing the teacher to give you those extra points. So now I'm on the other side of that harassment of constantly, like, you know, trying to give those extra points.
Yeah, came full circle.
Yep.
Like, as well as like you, like coming back to that, like, do you feel different from that? As in, like, do you now understand like how those teachers felt like when you were doing that, like trying to bump it up?
Oh yeah, I definitely understand. Like, bro, like you could have had those 5 points like 2 weeks ago if you just, like, you know, turned in the work.
Yeah.
So now I see that side of it. Before I was like, why won't they accept the work? I have it here, but now I understand. Like, you know, it's busy being a teacher. It's like, and it can be tough sometimes.
What a busy beat.
Oh.
My bad.
Coming back here as a teacher, like you said you were in school from like 2014?
2014 to 2018.
Yeah. How do you see that do you see any changes that the school has been through from your time as a student to now being here in 2023?
Oh yeah, for sure. All the murals everywhere, it just looks nicer. It's like it's a whole, like a new coat of paint over the whole building. But also, I just think it's the programs are a lot more expansive. Like, you know, there's just way more options for kids to choose from. I just think there's more than like there was when I was here, and you know that's always good. But there's growth.
Definitely.
To go back to my question, because you didn't answer it, what made you want to be a teacher?
Oh, well, honestly, I like wasn't completely sure what to do like in college. I was kind of just like, I was showing up to classes, you know, having fun, but like I wasn't completely sure. But then I remember like thinking back to my education, like how much these teachers provide for me, right? And I want to give back. And so really I made the decision to be a teacher because I wanted to give back.
Do you view teachers different now? Like, because we view teachers as a student's perspective. Like, how do you view teachers now? Do you give them like more respect, or like, like how is your point of view from that? Like, has it changed, or is it still the same?
So I think the main thing is just like the humanization of teachers, right? Because whenever you're a student, you're gonna, you know, especially like, you know, teenagers, you know, y'all kind of like, you know, the world belongs to y'all sometimes, right? And so. You know what that's supposed to mean. All right, but definitely just, you know, interacting with my coworkers and, you know, just me myself, like I'm myself, right? So like it humanizes the profession from like going from a student to actually being a teacher and seeing like the background of everything.
Okay, so then what is your perspective now for teachers and students? Like for me, sometimes I feel like teachers don't realize that even though we're young, we still deal with like a lot more stuff. Like we still deal with stuff like even though we're young. Like how do you feel when you know kids don't always do their homework, or they have this, they have that? How do you see that now?
The way I see it is that like I did it too. Like I went through stuff too, you know. And so the way I see it is like I went through that same things, those like, you know, same issues, and I like there were times I didn't turn in work, right? But like, you know, honestly, like my perspective has just changed. If anything, it's like changed more to the side of like, bro, just do your work. Like me personally, I worked all through. I started working when I was 10. Like started working in construction, like with my dad, and so I worked all through middle school, all through high school, and then in high school I had 2 jobs actually, where I would work in construction, and then like after school I would go work nights at UPS. And so my perspective is like, man, I was doing all of that. You can't study for a math quiz. You know, you can't tell me where France is. You know,
I still can't tell you where.
I still can't tell you where that is.
Have you had any fun experiences with teachers that you've used to have at this school and coming back and seeing them now?
For sure. Definitely Mr. Gonzalez. He's from law. I'm also Mr. Gonzalez, but he's from law. I remember, you know, because I was a teenager. You know, I had a different mentality. I remember me and him used to butt heads all the time. But now, like, you know, having matured, looking back at our conversations and what we would butt heads about, like, you know, I was good talking to him and seeing him and hearing him say that he was proud of me. You know, that was real nice. Because we used to be like, you know, he was my op, honestly. Like, he was my op when I was a kid here. That was the dude that was like, man, we got beef. But now, like, he wanted the best for me, and just being able to like look at him and talk to him with this different perspective is real nice.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Mr. G.
Course.
I mean, Mr.
Gonzalez.
Yes, Mr. Gonzalez, thank you so much.
Of course.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
You'll definitely be back for an interview.
Yeah, for sure. We should totally have you on a podcast.
No, seniors call it.
He's no, that's not fair.
Seniors call it.
No,
Seniors call it.
you should totally do it with the juniors.
No, y'all got Kellyer.
You can.
We got Kelly. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do it with all of y'all.
Yeah, you should do it with
I'll
both.
do it with all of y'all.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Anytime.
So our next guest would
Is
Mr. Briones. He is a.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we
Okay,
forgot to
yeah,
take a
my-
picture.
Oh, you
Yeah.
need a picture real quick,
sure.
you know?
where Miss Brianna's going?
So our next guest would be Mr. Briones.
Oh, is
He is
Thank
a
you so much.
a SBM teacher. He
So you know, little malfunction, whatever. There he goes. There he goes. Oh, our next guest is Miss Taylor.
Miss Taylor.
Miss Taylor, I love
Yes.
Miss Taylor.
Open the door. Yes, our next guest is Miss Taylor.
She teaches
History.
history. Yes. Welcome, Miss Taylor.
Picture.
Oh, turn around for a picture real quick.
Okay.
I know these chairs. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're really difficult.
okay. One more time.
Okay. You're still
I'm so sorry, Miss Taylor.
sorry.
Okay. So please introduce yourself and what you teach, and just a little bit about you.
Hi, I'm Miss Taylor. I teach APUSH, AP US History. I've been here about 10 years, mostly teaching APUSH.
What do you feel like makes you different from the other APUSH teachers?
I'm just so much cooler.
Yes, you are.
Pink hair, yeah.
And the nails, okay. We see.
Oh my god, that just reminded me of Nail Point Sunday. I'm so happy.
Putting your nails done. I wish I could.
How has your experience been at this school working for these 10 years, and do you see any changes that Townview has been through during those years?
It's really been, I love my job. I love being here. We have undergone a lot of changes, especially, principals switching and stuff like that. The biggest change I've seen is pre-COVID to post-COVID. So most of y'all were at one point at home, So it's a little different after COVID.
How do you feel like you adapted after that? Did any of your teaching change from that, from before COVID to now post-COVID?
I think maybe I have to have a little more patience. Being online doesn't work for everybody, so back to paper.
What made you want to be a teacher?
My mom was a teacher, and so it just kind of runs in the family. And I told myself when I was in high school I would never be a teacher. But years later, and it just kind of seemed to fit.
What pushed you to be an AP US teacher? Mostly that profession specifically.
Well, when you major in things like psychology and sociology, you learn very quickly that maybe being a history teacher is the way to go.
Yes. Having your mother have been a teacher, did it influence the way you saw teachers growing up?
Yes, it did. I always felt that they were terribly overworked. Too many papers to grade. So.
Okay, what made you dye your hair?
What made you dye your hair?
I like being eccentric. And just felt like, you have that moment where you're like, I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, I think last year was when I had you, and the first time I met you, I was like, she has pink and purple hair. I was like, she's gonna be
that's
amazing.
iconic. Yeah.
Yes, you were iconic.
Thank
like every
you.
time I would see you, I'd be like, that's Miss Taylor right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a little different.
Like, I never had you as a teacher. I had Miss Jackson for a push, but whenever I see you in the hallways, I was like, that's the teacher with the pink hair. That's Miss Taylor. So I know your name, even though I don't know you in a class setting.
I don't know, because all my friends who had you are like, oh my god, Miss Taylor was this, Miss Taylor this, Miss Taylor this. And I was like, okay, how do I switch classes?
Right? Well, I think all the teachers here are pretty awesome. And I really love who I get to work with. And we have like a really great team.
Yes. Do you have any favorite memories from being here?
Oh my goodness. That's a tough question. I mean, 10 years is a long time. I think it's just all been good.
It's all been good.
Like, you don't have any specific memories with your, maybe with your students, or like a class that you taught that was really fun to you or fun for your students?
I can tell you that it took me a while to wrap my head around this. Mr. Gonzalez.
Wait, you mean like the
Missed
one
it.
that just left?
Yes.
The one that just left.
Years and years ago, he was sitting in my classroom.
Oh, really?
I was about to ask, did you have any experiences with any students coming back? Yeah, that was
How do you has he changed from when he was in high school to now?
Yes. He's like, it's nice realizing that, I see y'all when y'all are 16, 17, and coming back, y'all grow up after a while. It's funny to see y'all as adults later on.
The scared laugh.
Can I ask,
No.
like, being here 10 years, what has been some of the most rewarding, part of working here? Whether it be, the students you get to interact with, or, the teachers, or, the school itself?
I wish I'd known it, then I would have prepared to think about all the past. It's one of those things that I get to go home every night to my husband and tell him the funny stories about the things that happened in class. And he just looks at me, he's like, oh my goodness. So every day there's, these really great moments. So it's really hard to pick out of all those years.
Okay. Oh, she already got her.
She got
Oh, she
Wait,
did.
What's the beginning?
It started when she first came.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Oh, yes. We sure did. Okay. Yeah.
Thinking of another question.
Okay. Has there been any students you've bonded with? Sorry.
There have been, like, I had a TA a few years ago, and she was just like my daughter at school, and so every few years there's someone like you just really get. You don't play favorites, but you do get closer to some.
Right.
How do you find ways to like motivate students who aren't motivated to do their schoolwork, but it's not because they're just lazy? Like if they're going through something, how would you approach that?
I just look at everything with a lot of patience because we all have moments. I mean, y'all cannot be, what's the word, locked in.
Locked in.
Yeah.
Y'all can't do that, for how many hours? 8 hours a day. You got to take those little breathers and those little breaks.
Okay. Well, thank you,
thank you
Miss
so much.
Taylor.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you. It was awesome having you on the show.
Bye, Miss Taylor. So our next guest will be Mr. Briones. He is a teacher at Business and Management.
He could have just stood up and just talked to. Okay.
Do I gotta put the headphones on?
No, you don't have to. You don't have to.
That's why. Like, why did you do it? So,
Push it up a little bit, Mr. Briones. You're kind of short.
Then these headphones gonna bust.
Mr. Briones, push it up a little bit. Push your
pick
chair up a little bit.
Pick
up your chair a little bit.
Oh, pick up
your chair.
Test.
Put your
I'm good?
you're good.
Mr.
Okay.
Briones, push up your chair.
All right, y'all.
He's not gonna do it, y'all. The picture.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, what's the first question, y'all?
The picture.
Are we live? Like, is this on YouTube?
Yes. Oh, we're live.
I had to be careful what I said then.
Yeah, you're short.
So, Mr. Briones, could you please introduce yourself?
I am Mr. Briones. I am the sports management teacher, BPA advisor, attendance for credit coordinator, and I am a hallway monitor as well on the side.
You were so monotone with the description. You're like,
As the Sean I see in the hallway without a pass 24/7, it is not okay.
Man, strictly business when he came up on here. Okay.
I am also Camila's support teacher.
Can't say your name.
What is that like a support dog?
That's so cool, dog. Okay.
we have.
Just kidding. Camila's not her real name.
Oh,
Oh, geez.
It's actually
We won't discuss that.
Actually, yeah.
Just man.
Okay, so Mr.
Camila
Briones.
has the pink glasses.
so Mr. Briones, what do you do here? And how long have you been here? What do you do here? How long have you been here?
I was here over 5 years ago. I student taught with Shipman. Then I left to Nebraska, taught for 2 years, and then they missed me so much because school morale was down, and they needed someone to come lift spirits. So I came back,
For sure.
So,
Aren't
and
you
I
gonna
got
leave us again?
and I got offered a 6-figure contract to come back.
okay.
Okay.
So how is your experience teaching with Miss Shipman?
It was a lot of fun. I actually had a lot of fun. So y'all see the teacher side of Shipman. I see Rochelle,
Oh.
and she is funny. She cracks me up. And Tierica, I am not lying.
I'm not.
But no, it was great. I enjoyed it a lot. I didn't want to leave to Nebraska, but the way my certification, everything fell through, I had to go back, and everything fell in place. So I actually got my first teaching job in Nebraska because my mom's a lunch lady, and she asked the principal to hire me. And that day that she asked him, the English language learners algebra teacher said she was quitting. And I had, because I grew up in Nebraska in a small town, I had the same principal from elementary, middle, and high school. So he knew me, and he knew my family, so he told her, tell him to apply, and I'll hire him. So that's actually how it happened. And
The job was so good.
Why are you
they
leaving?
fired me.
Why is your
Yes.
reasoning? What's your real reasoning for leaving Townview if it's so great?
No. I was talking about ELL algebra when I was in Nebraska teaching. So the COVID pandemic broke out, and in Nebraska, teachers stay for 20, 30 years. So I was the new teacher, so I was one of the first to get cut because they were making budget cuts to prepare for the pandemic shortage.
With money and everything. Okay.
Wait, but how long have you been teaching?
So this is my 5th year of teaching. So I was in Nebraska for 2 years. I taught algebra for 1 year. My second year, I taught middle school, and then I came back, and this is my 3rd year here.
Oh, okay.
And I do love my job. All right.
What's your fake name?
Rosie. I love my job here, but when I was teaching at the middle school, one of my assistant principals, he's like, hey, would you ever be interested in leadership? And I'm like, no. I was like, I love what I do with the classroom and impacting the kids. And I generally have fun. I say hanging out with the students because I feel like that's what I do most of the time. We do learn, so all the parents watching, we do learn high expectations only. But basically what he told me was, in your classroom, you can only impact the kids that are in there. As a leader in the school, you can impact the families of the kids, which that can carry on a lot further. So that's what got me interested into becoming, into the leadership. So assistant principal, principals, one goal. And after that, I started my master's program the following school year. Just finished that, so I am certified. So Dallas ISD, if you're hiring.
Wow.
Just putting it all out there, you know?
Yeah.
Put it
You gotta
out
show
there.
off the resume.
Yeah, they're
As
watching.
as he looks.
Elizalde, if you're watching right now, if you subscribe, if y'all don't know, Elizalde is the superintendent.
Yeah, we heard. We
Yeah,
heard.
we're gonna interview her and
For real? Oh, now I'm nervous. Oh, no.
Confirmed.
Is there like any like memorable moments you've had with us, as in like the
How would
junior
he know
class?
he's in the hallway half the time?
Rosie,
Wow.
can I tell them about your freshman year?
Yes.
She cried once a week in my class.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I will never forget that.
Yeah.
And then there's another student that was in her class who, whenever she had a bad day, she had to take it out on me.
No, she would take it out on both of us. I remember. No, wait. No, I'm talking about someone else.
Well, I'm talking about one person in particular.
Oh, okay.
I can't say her name, and I don't know her fake name.
I think she got a big name around here.
What made you choose to be a teacher?
Dyer.
Dior. That is Dior.
Dior versus Dior.
Dior.
Dyer. Dior. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
What was the question?
what are the memorable moments?
I just said it.
in general.
Oh,
General.
let me think about what I'm going to say next before I get myself in trouble. I think one of the memorable moments for me was last year going to the BPA, going to nationals, because the 3 kids I took, a lot. I think 2 of them was their first time flying, so that was exciting, and it was all 3 of them their first time going to Disneyland. So just sharing those experiences with them was a cool moment because I know like there's certain moments that they're never gonna forget, and as a teacher, I mean, you're not gonna forget that either.
I should have done the second round.
You
I
should've.
passed the first one.
So Rosie was part of BPA, but didn't show up to state.
It's my teacher. Oh, a faculty member.
Faculty, yeah.
A faculty member.
Miss Shipman.
No, decided that she wanted to give us a test that day and said we couldn't make it up. So we
And
had
it
to
cost
go.
her Disneyland, and she failed the test.
Yeah, I actually,
Oh, okay.
I did not fail the test. I passed. I actually passed with a high.
C's get degrees.
Hey, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But what would you say like changed over the years? Like seeing us grow too.
I think it's cool seeing y'all. Like, I mean, I gotta be careful. I almost use your real names. Seeing students I had a freshman year and just seeing how they are now and their personalities develop is super cool. Seeing one kid become a icon and fashion guru wearing fear of God all the time now. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
No.
I can't say his name. Dang it.
You can say other kids' names.
Subscribe.
Oh, I can say other kids' names?
Yeah.
If they're not
ours.
on here, you can say.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, Brandon. Y'all remember Brandon?
Oh
And
yeah.
just seeing like
Oh,
he be
wait.
wearing them big old slides and everything.
Oh, wait, we don't know.
He was looking.
Wait, fear of God.
He was looking a little bit
What is a fear of God?
rusty.
Essential. Okay.
Oh,
we can't say
my.
that.
These parents gonna listen to you say,
Oh,
call somebody.
We can't.
He was looking.
Cancel her.
He was questionable.
Dyer, can we get her off the show?
To her stand.
Dyer. Oh, then you're never getting rid of that. Oh my God, that's not going
the name
away.
now. That's the
Dyer.
name now.
You feel be dire now.
Dyer. So, that was
Here, that's because someone's checking on my dog real quick. Hello?
You can't.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Oh, if you can just take him out to use the restroom just for you can kind of just let him hang out in there. I'll be back like in an hour and a half. No, you're good. If you just take him out.
Yo, what's up, KZ and family? Currently enjoying the show? But don't leave us just yet. We'll be right back after this short break.
Mission, you know.
All right, we're back. Dyer.
Can I ask what
No.
made you want to be a teacher?
So I had two teachers that were completely different growing up in high school. One of them was my business teacher, and he was funny. He said how it was, and he was always honest with us. Another one was my calculus teacher, and if believe it or not, y'all, but I was the loud, annoying kid in high school that was always cracking jokes. I was skipping to go to Little Caesars. But basically, I had like two completely opposite teachers that impacted my life. Dyer says she believes it. So they impacted my life, and kind of reflecting, I was like, I just realized how many memories and how many laughs I had in there, and the difference both of them made on me. So one of them was I just felt safe and comfortable in there and could be myself. The other one, she just always believed in me and was so patient with me, where I'm like, dang, like just saw the difference a teacher could make. And then, I mean, from there, when I was in college, I actually studied finance for 3 years before I switched, where I'm like, I was talking to, I had an internship, and he was a sales manager for a bank, and I was just telling him, I was like, hey, do you like, because if you know me, I always ask questions. I was like, do you like your job? Do you like this? Do you like this? And he was honest with me. He said no. He says he wish he could do it again. He says he's been doing the same routine for over 10 years. And I was like, that sounds horrible. I was like, at least with teaching, I know every year it's new students. Yes, you're doing a lot of the same tasks and stuff, but you have different kids, different personalities, different situations and challenges. And to me, I just felt like that was a lot, like what I wanted to spend my life. I felt like that was worth doing.
Wait, so he was a teacher too?
No, the one that told me he didn't like it, he was a sales manager at a bank. So I was studying finance, and I had an internship for that. But I just reflected on the impact those two teachers had on me, and I was like, okay, that is something I can see myself doing and enjoying.
But finance kids, okay? If you want to do finance, you want to come to the school, don't listen to him. It's
Finance is an amazing option.
it really
No,
is.
you can make a lot of
Yeah.
money in finance. You can do a lot, but my personality, I love talking to people. I love being around people. And just from my past experiences, teaching was the right fit for me.
Yeah, so the thing about all of these pathways is that they all kind of have their own personality. Mm-hmm. So everybody has like a specific place that they're kind of meant to be, or they
You'd fit in
choose.
better in some places.
Yeah, I feel like if you came back, I feel like you would do really good in KSBM. Honestly.
What's that mean? Like you want me to do another show?
No, like if we could go back to high school, like be a high school student right now, you would be very, very good in KSBM.
I would not go back to high school.
No, but let's say like.
Hey, I'm with you on that one.
I don't even want to think about it.
No.
In the overall
No hypotheticals, no.
Hypothetically, like if you were a
Hypothetically,
student.
why did you live in Nebraska?
That's true. That's very true.
Well, no, hypothetically, how'd you go from Nebraska to here?
Texas.
Yes.
So basically, Nebraska is a lot of cornfields.
I thought
My
it was
grandpa
cold.
came from Mexico to work the cornfields, and he brought his family over. My dad lived in Fort Worth, and they basically opened a meat plant in Nebraska, and they were recruiting people, and they were going to pay for their living and this and this. And my dad was, I am struggling here in Fort Worth. I ain't making money, so I might as well go. And he met my mom at that meat plant, and boom, out came, I'm using a fake name, Mr.
You can say your name.
I don't know what to say. Bros.
You already done an interview
Mr.
with
Townview.
us.
Mr.
Townview?
Hey.
Okay.
It's my stage name, y'all.
Free.
So touching back on,
Stage name sounds like
touching
We're
back.
back to Mr. Briones.
So touching back on you saying that you have like that teacher motivated you and that teacher kind of pushed you and was that person for you. I'll openly say that you have been that teacher for us, honestly. I remember going back.
Thank you, Rosie.
I remember going, like, when I think about my freshman year in high school, I remember I was struggling. Honestly, I was freshman, sophomore year. I remember I struggled a lot, like, mostly mentally. And you were there. Honestly, like, I'll say that.
How was he there? I don't ever see him anywhere but walking around.
It's because I had a class with him.
Camila, you wouldn't know.
I had a class with him. I remember, and every time in that class, I remember I would cry. Honestly, I would cry. Like Mr. Briones knows, but like at that time, like having like you were an emotional support person to me, honestly. And I feel like till this day I can go and like tell you my issues or tell you like certain things that like I couldn't open up to other people. And also like I like it because you don't judge me. Like I would cry about such like now that I think about it and like now that I'm older, I'm like, why were you crying because of that?
I told her too. I was like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, but at that time, like as a freshman and like as a
sophomore,
as a junior, and now a junior, I can look back on it and I'm like, why were you crying? I don't know how you did it sometimes. Like honestly, I would like when I look back on it, I'm like, stop crying. Like, but honestly, like I'll say like thank you for being that person. And, like, you better see us graduate, too, because I'm going to cry if you don't.
I'll be there, too. I'll be in the stands hidden. I'm going to go undercover.
Yeah.
And now you understand why I'm never in my classroom.
No. Yeah, honestly, your classroom is pretty nice now. You got an upgrade for sure.
I got windows now, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the parking lot, but I got windows.
All you see is the people sneaking out.
I saw the person to my left trying to catch a pigeon.
Listen, I've never seen a pigeon that couldn't fly.
Really?
Like, this pigeon could not fly. So that was my chance to take this pigeon home.
You saw the pigeon?
Are you?
That was my chance.
We do not approve animal cruelty
When I
here.
say that
When she says take
looked
that
like
pigeon
us.
home, she does not mean like to the sky. She was not going to kill the pigeon, y'all.
No, I meant that was going to be my pet. And when we had Thanksgiving, it would eat.
She meant literally
turkey.
home. Well, that pigeon needed to be on a diet. First off, that pigeon could not fly.
That pigeon was the never mind. Anyways, so Mr. Briones, what I was gonna say is I've never really had class with you, and literally the only time I've ever seen you was this year. Like
It's because he was upstairs.
I don't. Oh, he was, yes.
Like,
but I do have to say, in the time that I've known you, you've definitely been like the reason that I like coming to school, and that like it's funny. Like I don't know, I don't mean to catch him every time, but every time I'm just walking, I just like see him.
It's because you care. Like you're one of the. I would say you're one of like certain teachers. All teachers care, but Mr.
They wouldn't be here if they didn't care.
Mr. Briones, like I will say, will go like beyond his job. I feel like he would go the extra mile for you. Like honestly, like you did go the extra mile for me. I don't know. Yeah, I won't say that because I can't say that here. But no, like I feel like a lot of people really like you.
I really don't know why.
Like
I be saying everything. I be so honest sometimes with kids where I'm like, how do y'all like me?
But that's why
sometimes I forget you're like you're
I feel like teachers are so prone to be like distant or say, oh, this is just my workplace where I don't need to build a relationship with you, and so, or I don't need to like,
Yeah.
And a lot of teachers are like that, and you're not like that.
And you're
that
updated
makes me
too.
Be more,
you're updated.
Yeah.
You got to reboot.
Kids think whenever I tell kids I have Instagram, they're like, what? I'm not even that old.
We were having that conversation about Snapchat.
They're like, you have Snapchat?
No one should have
I'm like, Snapchat came out when I was in high school.
No one should have Snapchat.
Mm.
There's
I use it for storage.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, like no. Sometimes like I'll have it for storage.
You know that your
But so-
it's still on the storage.
have you ever heard Google Drive?
Well, you know what I mean by
Cloud,
storage.
I have no idea.
The cloud.
I don't know either.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, storage.
Yeah.
Storage. It's a very
Yeah, storage.
storage. But yeah,
Alright, bro.
Honestly, I'm surprised I've never had a class with you because I've
He's
heard
such a good teacher.
I know it's so
Wait a minute.
unfair.
Do you teach business law?
he should.
If you're signed up for that, no.
Wow.
Yes, I do. I teach business law this year, and I'm the sports management
Oh
teacher,
my
but we're
God.
starting with business management. Are you in it?
Do you teach business law next? Is it a semester class?
No, it's a year class.
Wait, can you switch in the middle?
No, it's
Yeah,
a year
you can.
class.
Yeah, you can. I'm gonna do it. I'll be the first
No,
to
it's
do
a
it.
it's a year class.
Wait, so you're leaving? Are you leaving next year or
No,
this year?
no. So
How does this work?
I basically got to apply, and somebody has to take a chance on me.
So you're still not committed to leaving?
So someone
Okay.
take a chance on him or not, let's just see how the year goes. You know?
We'll
Okay,
see what
that's
happens.
that's the good thing. Hopefully you get a job when we're out of high school. When I'm out of high school, hopefully you get a job by then.
Perfect. Any other questions?
Aiden.
Oh, okay. Have there been any experiences with like students coming back and having like full circle moments? Type situation?
Oh, all the time. I mean, I have students. So actually, one of the craziest things that happened to me was, so when I was teaching middle school, I had a student who was so difficult to deal with, but she had a lot of stuff going on. But she was funny, she was great, but she tested me, and she knew she was testing me. And this is the most random thing. But she found my TikTok account, because I used to make like little daily vlogs. And she like messaged me on there, and she's like, so she went from, I had her in 7th grade and she was a freshman. And she messaged me, she's like, Mr. Brianna's like, I'm doing good, I'm doing my work, I'm showing up to class, like I'm not fighting. And I was like, well, thank you, Jesus. No, but that was one of those full moments where it's like, dang, like you don't realize the impact you're having. Because when she was in 7th grade, I didn't realize what I was saying was getting through, because she was slamming her computer and running out my classroom. But just seeing how like 2 years removed from that, she's like, okay, like she's in school, she's trying, she's doing good. Just the improvement that she made was crazy. And it was a full moment because I went from Nebraska to Dallas, and the fact that she found my TikTok was random.
That reminds me of a certain situation with Miss Shipman when she found my TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Because I like to say that social media is great and I love social media marketing, but being a senior, like you don't think about how your teachers also are alive when social media is alive. So
That your teachers have lives outside of work.
yeah, you don't realize that until you get a teacher like Mr. Brianna's or Miss Shipman. Yeah. So you should definitely choose this path, because I feel like in business, we have a lot more communicators, like people who are open to communicate and people who are like Mr. Brianna is, and I don't know what I was gonna say.
People aren't always born with the skill to effectively communicate. It's sometimes you gotta learn how to.
Yeah, no. So if the speaking creativity is a thing, social media marketing is the way to go.
And honestly, I'll say, like, yes, sometimes Miss Shipman's class is a bit difficult and there is the tough moments. I'll say, like, honestly, like you guys want the best for us. Like, I'll openly say it. Like, sometimes the work is challenging, but you guys do want the best for us. And I feel like it's because y'all guys are a little bit more updated.
Did you go to college? You don't rep
He's
your
still in college.
I'm still in college.
Well, I mean, like, before.
No,
Wait,
yes.
at your age,
No,
you
okay.
went to
Y'all
college?
know, everyone that has had me knows I rep my college. I've been wearing the same Nebraska shirt for 4 years. I only have one polo,
So
and I've been rocking it for 4 years.
So
You got
like,
on
as
another polo right now.
No, so Nebraska, if you're watching this, if you follow KSBM, please sponsor me and send me another polo.
You know when Jamal says retire that shirt, little bro?
That shirt gonna retire with me.
So how did you get back into college without like, did you just apply to college?
Like, what you mean? Like the third time?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like, because you know how when you apply as a high school student, you have.
Oh, the process stays the same. The only thing is they added more fields. So when I applied to go back for my master's, I basically needed my principal's recommendation and I needed a previous supervisor's recommendation as well. I had to give them like examples of my writing, stuff like that. And then when I applied to my doctorate program recently, I needed 2 recommendations from people with doctorates. And then I had to submit 3 samples of work, and they gave me like a prompt, an idea, and I had to show like my research on there. And I had to send in a portfolio. So the steps that y'all take to apply for your undergrad, it's the same thing. They just build upon that. They just ask for more.
Okay.
Do you ever think that you would ever go back, or like
To Nebraska?
no?
Oh God.
I would
being
go
a
back.
college, you were a college advisor, right? At one
Oh,
point.
no. So I was a college readiness teacher.
Would you go back to being the college readiness teacher?
Oh, I love college readiness. Working with the seniors, and as we speak, look, my grades are coming through. No, as we speak, so college ready, I really enjoyed it because one, I was working with the seniors, and so I went to community college when I started. The reason why is because I didn't know nothing about college. So I applied to community college in June. If y'all add up the dates, graduated in May. I did FAFSA in June. So I didn't have anyone to be like, hey, here's the deadline, here's what you got to do, here's what you got to do. I was basically trying to figure it out as I went. So I actually, if any of y'all are familiar with it, I was put on academic probation my freshman year of college. Because I was trying to figure it out, and when I got to college, it was just every reality hit me fast. And then after my first year, I was like, oh, like they're not playing with me. Like it's not high school no more where somebody's looking for you and being like, hey, you need to do this or checking up on you. And I didn't have, my parents didn't go to school. I had no one in my family to be like, hey, this is what you got to do. So it was just me figuring it out. So when I was in the college readiness teacher, to me, it was like, okay, I'm going to be that person that I needed. So I answered the questions. I'd be like, hey, get on this, do this. And one thing I always try to tell them was to shoot high. Because that's one thing I feel like I was just trying to survive at first because I was just trying to figure it out. But y'all have a lot of advantages here. And there's no reason why you guys shouldn't be aiming or having high expectations for yourselves.
Do you recommend going to a community college, like if you have no plan to go to a specific like university, if you want to study something like in business?
There's nothing wrong with going to community college. I started community college, and now I'm working on my doctorate. My thing is, if you know you want a 4-year degree, I say go straight there, because I had to make up a lot of classes that didn't transfer over to university. So it made my pathway more difficult. But there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like Townview, because, I mean, you guys have high standard and high expectations here. A lot of kids sometimes feel like they're downgrading for going to community college. That's not the case at all. I think as long as you take a step forward, I mean, that's what matters at the end of the day.
What would be some college advice you would give us as the KSBM team as well as the viewers?
No, I think especially, I mean, a lot of y'all being juniors right now is your grades are there because you come here, so they have expectations. But also to focus on building your leadership, building up your resume, being involved in the school, being part of the community, because that will carry on. Y'all might just be like, oh, well, I'm doing this for college. But if you can develop those skills wherever you're employed or wherever you get a job or go to school, people will notice. You will make an impact. And realistically, if you're valuable to a company, they will pay you for it. You will be promoted. You will have opportunities. You will have doors open. People will put trust in you because of that. So start building those habits early. Don't have the mindset where it's like, well, when I get to college, then I'll start being this person. Because if that's your mindset, you're always a step behind.
Thank you. Because I feel like he's talking about me. He's like calling me out. Okay, so basically,
I don't even know her situation.
I would like to say that he's completely right. Because even though you can get in college without like
really
being a part of the community or like without all the stuff that he just said, because trust me, there's a lot of colleges that will accept you if you're not the greatest student or if you don't have the highest GPA. I would know.
I mean, they took me with a bud notice.
Exactly. Like, there's a lot of coaches.
But I also almost failed at a community college, so.
But I feel like if you learn, even if you're doing it just for college, like, it just proves that you're at least doing it for something, and you're like learning those things. Oh, get off your phone.
It's because look at my dog.
Oh my God, is that a Frenchie?
Yeah, my buddy Sensei, he's like, you're a daddy.
I said that he looks like his dog.
Oh my god!
You
You know
said
how
that
they
he
be
looked
talking
like
about
his
how
dog?
like
That's
dogs
crazy.
have the same personality? You and your dog match completely. That dog was just staring, no thoughts behind it.
Show them.
Sometimes-
Wait.
We're stressed. We're trying to survive.
No, show them the photo you showed me when I was.
LM.
When I was.
Do not read. No. Don't read it out loud. Do not read it.
I remember when I was.
Laughing my arches.
Show them the photo that you showed me when I was
I refuse to now, y'all.
academically going to your class.
What?
Makes no sense. You should
Go-
academically stop.
No, that's gonna make it worse. Keep going to school.
No, not like that, y'all.
He knows what I mean by that though. I academically went to his class for something.
I literally don't know what that means.
If you get it, you get it.
Oh, what's that old TikTok trend? You remember? The girls
Look
that
at the get it, and the girls that don't.
Yeah.
I'm just a girl in the world.
What?
That's not the trend.
That's a different one. That's a different one.
No, but show them that picture.
I refuse to.
No, when
Next
I mean
question,
like
Dior.
he looked exactly like.
Oh my god, he said it right.
It's so crazy to say that.
Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Yes, I heard y'all.
What did you say?
Dior. Is that
Dior.
right?
That is because
What was it at first?
Is that what it's?
He
Oh,
said Dior.
is it after
Dior.
Christian Dior?
Christian.
Is it after? Is it after the bag? Is that a bag?
Staring at us from the.
I really don't know. I didn't realize Marc Jacobs did perfume, and that was the same guy who did the tote bag until literally last week.
Yeah. You know what? Why don't we talk about the tote bag? Because I don't get it. I don't know
the
why
bag.
everyone has one.
I don't get it.
What do you mean? It's Marc.
either.
It's
It's literally called the tote bag.
But that's a
You got
good
to
where
marketing.
did the tote bag come
That's
from?
a good marketing strategy
Wait,
though.
her dog's name is Tote Bag?
Yeah.
No. Her dog's name is
dog's name is
Dior.
No,
I
her
think.
dog's name is
Really?
Tote.
Did I get it right?
Tote. That's a cute name though. Tote. Like,
She doesn't
come here, Tote.
look
I
like
think
that
I got
made
it right.
sense, but
But I feel like
that out of it.
if you just pop something up and like you just keep like just if you keep seeing it, it just comes like a
Naturally.
thing, like a
What are you
trend.
talking about?
The tote bag.
Bro, he just
tote bag.
took a bag and wrote tote on it. It's not a lot
It's
of.
not. It's
But
not
people
a lot
bought
of
it though.
thinking. It's not
But
a
the
lot
thing
of
is that
overthinking comes to that.
the girl.
Okay, neither
girls
is
know what
red
they want.
bottoms.
Okay.
Like
The thing
it's
is-
red bottoms. I can go get
it's
a pair of black shoes and
But
put
the
red
shoe
on.
is okay.
I actually agree.
Am I
with
still
her.
gonna pay $800 for it? Yes.
Exactly.
Am I still
That's
gonna
what I'm
walk
saying.
across graduation stage with red bombs? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's like,
Like Jordan.
Is she gonna trip across the stage with red bottoms?
Yes.
Find out. We'll
Is
find
it
out.
okay? No, if I trip, y'all are all getting a show of my red bombs. I don't care if I trip. The
red
shoe
bottoms?
is gonna be there.
She's gonna trip on purpose to show them her red
That's
bottoms.
what you
yeah,
gotta do, bro.
literally. I'm gonna do that. That's so smart.
It's gonna be weird not seeing her in Crocs though.
no, yeah. Honestly, I remember my sophomore year. I remember
Red bottom Crocs.
Red bottom
Yeah.
Crocs is
You remember
wild.
what?
He would wear a lot of Crocs in a blanket.
Listen, tell me why someone yesterday asked me if I was wearing Crocs, and I was like, "That's the only thing I wear." They're like, "You wearing Crocs?"
Aiden part 2.
See, bro,
Yes.
I'm wearing shoes. I got
It's
shoes
the
on
white
right now.
The only reason I wear
And I wear
AD's default
shoes.
outfit
I wear other
is
shoes.
just
AD.
white Crocs and AD's default outfit is just white Crocs, gray sweatpants, and a black like.
My
sweater.
default outfit is a Nebraska shirt, polo, my Hokas, and whatever clean pants I have.
Yeah, I can describe you. It's a button-up shirt with a belt and like some
If
pants.
Bob Burgers was a teacher.
All right, next question.
Next question.
We got a schedule to follow, y'all. How do you know where your questions are at? All right, now I'm gonna ask y'all a question.
Oh yeah, you can ask us
What
questions.
has been your most memorable moment at KSBM?
You go first.
Okay, I have one.
Oh, okay.
I remember when we got the Whisper.
All right,
booth.
next.
Now I refuse to talk because I remember when we got the Whisper booth as a donation, and Miss Shimon wouldn't let any of the girls build it
Oh.
because Kyra broke her nail. And she thought we were too fragile to do it, and so Noelle and Martin had to do it, and that was the first time I realized that I have to do anything a man can do and do it better.
Oh. Yeah.
Shipman's gonna make you cut that out, y'all.
Probably will. She made me do those lights too. That was a battle.
That was a good memory. One of our I feel like our good memories is putting the lights up, like Christmas stuff.
What lights did y'all put up?
We did not those.
Originally, it was. I tried to put them up, and then they changed the whole thing. So
going back to
because yours was ugly.
Okay.
We
didn't need to do all that. Like that wasn't necessary.
First of all, it was off. It wasn't straight.
First of all, there was not an even amount of clips. Somebody lost the clips. That's
enough
number
clips,
one.
we did not have
Number two, you tried. They told me to move it 5 times. It was done the first time. I stopped. Okay.
Wow. That's not his fault, y'all.
Caught me off guard.
He tried his hardest.
Exactly.
No.
See, Mr. Briones understands.
But yeah, it going back to
Violet.
So going back to what Violet said, a girl can do whatever a girl can do better
Then why didn't y'all
because
put up the lights?
Dior, I will say Dior put the lights up.
Shipman's here.
Dior did the job better than Aiden did.
Dior
First
did
of
the
all,
job better
she
than
moved
Aiden did.
one clip.
AD did.
She moved 1 or 2 clips.
Honestly, if one thing I
She's
learned
5'2",
is you
you're
never
6
question
foot.
Dior. If Dior makes up her mind on something, you ain't changing it.
Exactly.
I can tell you that right now.
6'1".
I gave her a 0 because she
6'1".
refused to change her work.
Oh, I remember that. I remember
You
y'all
let this
would.
man give you a 0?
She said, yeah, I did. I let him.
I remember y'all would argue about grades sometimes.
She wouldn't redo any assignments. She's like, that's fine. I was like, well, I guess it is then.
I remember that class was so funny. Like honestly,
yeah,
that class.
y'all were a blast. Nakaya, come back.
We were your favorite class, huh?
Nakaya.
She said I passed.
I miss Nakaya. She switched to law.
I say we were your favorite class. Honestly.
I'm not even. I don't even do that. I don't know why.
I was like, yo.
But she'll betray her.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't know.
Nakaya.
She was a band kid.
Oh,
She
yeah.
is
She
a band
band
kid.
There's like a
She
gang of
is.
those. There's not specific enough.
Yeah, that's really not specific.
No.
There's like so many.
I remember-
I mean, not her anymore because she dropped out.
Ooh,
Whoa, dang. Hold on.
she's no longer here.
No,
You heard that scream through her. Wait a minute.
no. They can hear y'all.
Is it because your ex was in the band?
Oh,
Anyways,
stop. We
We'll
cannot
cut that out when we edit this
stop.
episode.
Shipman, we are losing control of the show, Shipman.
Don't say that.
Don't
'cause
say that out
Don't say
loud.
that because she will actually get on us.
But
I'm just kidding, Shipman. We're doing great.
No, we're not.
Stop. We're doing fine and shit.
I was wondering what is the most rewarding part of your job?
Yeah.
The
Yes.
students,
Me?
yeah, the students just in general. I feel like I have a blast coming to school. The teacher stuff is cool and stuff too, but the students are fun. They crack me up every day. I remember, just like for example, right? I had a student the other day. Shout out to Kevin, and he just made the most random comment, but he just literally said, he's like, yo, he's like, man, I feel rested today. I'm like, why? He's like, my girlfriend went to sleep early, and my girlfriend's bed, when she gets tired, it's my bedtime.
Oh, wow.
We need more people like that. We need
No,
more
so
men
just like the comments I hear all the time in the hallway from students, it just, I don't know, man.
What's
It makes your
the
fun entertaining.
funniest thing a student has told you that you like laughed?
Oh, I don't even know.
That's
Appropriate that you've laughed like with them.
It's because like I be laughing at the funniest things, you know. So like when I first started and I was doing like presentations, I used to give up like like you're 1 minute in, 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in. And I got to 5 minutes, and the kid didn't realize what I was doing, and he waves back at me. He's like, "Hey, mister, I'm trying to present," and I was like, and it wasn't even that funny, but I lost it. Like I couldn't stop laughing, and I just felt so bad.
Was that
but
our class? Was that?
No, that was
said when he
they graduated last year. It was last year's seniors when they were juniors, a principal of IT class.
Bro, that class was funny.
Yeah,
That senior class was something else.
No, and then
Top two
I mean,
senior
just like just the most random stuff ever.
I remember I would walk in there and they would be talking about some
Like just
studious things.
no, like for example, one student Andy, he would call me Bad Boy Briones because he walked past the hallway, and this is when I was still learning, and I messed something up. So they were telling me I messed up, and he overheard. He walks into class the next morning. He's like, "Bad Boy Briones," and I was just like,
that's sticking. Oh, that's
Bad Bad boy, Brion.
No, and I was just like, and he's like, 'cause he saw me getting in trouble by the famous Miss Sanders. I love Miss Sanders, man, but she be having to correct me sometimes because I'm still learning.
She put you in your place.
But she does that to everybody.
No, yeah.
Bad boy, Brion.
That's your radio name, Bad Boy Brion.
Never coming back on the show.
Who cares about the Bad Girls Club? No one.
New after school club? No, I'm just kidding. All right, next question.
What is something that you have learned from other teachers? Like, as in your teaching?
A lot. I be asking teachers all the time for help, advice, how to do this different, how to do this better. One of the best things I did was Mr. Albert at for business law, the case study. Like, he's like, use case studies for this. And I mean, I've used it for all kinds of different student engagement, from reading, research, students practicing their writing. But I think that's one of those activities where I just, like, I'll do, like, you know, I'll give them part of the case study. They got to figure out the rest. Or they have to guess if this is going to work, if this is not going to work. But it's just been something that's been so versatile. But that's on the instructional side. But, I mean, just, I feel like there's so many, like, teachers that have, like, poured into me and helped me out. So I can't say, like, one thing specifically, but just so many teachers out there. And, I mean, y'all see me. I go and ask teachers for help all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's one thing I'm not shy of, is if I don't know, I'm going to ask you. And if you don't know, I'm going to ask the next person. And if we don't know, I'm going to Google it. And if it's not on Google, it's just not going to get done.
It's not meant to be. It is not meant to be.
Is there something you've learned instead from the students in these few years that you've been here?
Oh yeah, all the from the students. I feel like y'all show us so much, you know. Just like I feel like y'all kind of just seeing like a lot of kids with the small moments kind of brings you back down to reality. Because like as an adult, y'all want to grow up so fast, but adulthood ain't all that, you know. But a lot of times you kind of lose who you are because you got so much responsibilities and stress and everything. So then you have kids who are getting excited over small things, and it kind of just brings perspective back and shows you the importance of it all. But no, other than that, I mean, no, it's just every kid is so different, so unique, and it kind of just ties everything in, you know?
I don't know.
Like violin over here.
Violin.
That might stick, violin.
That's not sticking. That's nothing.
No, so violin over here, just seeing her in the hallway right away, and we don't even gotta say anything, but we already know what we're thinking. And I've never had her as a student, but yet to like build a connection like that with a student you never have, I mean, I don't know, it's just so rewarding, you know?
You know what I like to think? I like to think that I don't want to grow up because y'all stress me out. Everything stress me out. And the juniors, they don't even know me. I don't have class with them. I literally don't know the juniors, but they do know that once I come in that room, something's about to be said. Like, something. Every day I come in here and I'm stressed. I don't even do nothing for real.
She asked us what color she should dye her hair
next.
That
was a very important question.
That was very important.
You had one of the KSBM team members going on Pinterest. And
she was
doing
for
Okay, fair enough.
You waited until Miss Shipman stopped talking to us.
Because she kept asking them questions, and I was like, that's not as important as what color I should dye my hair.
Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense. I get it.
You know, it's so funny when Miss Shipman comes in here, like, I'm so stressed.
Wait, so what color are you dyeing your hair? You can't just like bring it up and not tell us.
The reveal.
The reveal will be in the next podcast.
Buzz cut?
Oh.
You've done what colors? You've done.
I am not going to my college with a buzz cut.
Didn't you already have one?
Yeah, I'm not in college.
You had a buzz cut?
I don't know what that means.
I had a bald cut.
No.
I was about to say something, but that's
I was trying to figure out what he was doing.
Oh, you mean JoJo?
JoJo.
Yes.
Wait, did they line you up?
They lined you up?
Yeah, I'll show you.
They lined you up? That's a lineup?
Oh my gosh.
No,
okay.
but I had
Just
one.
making sure.
I'll show y'all later after.
Violin, you should do it purple.
No, that is not my name.
Violin.
It is on the thing. It is Big Violet. Big violin.
Big violin. What are they called? They're not called violins. What are the big ones?
The cello.
The cello.
Give me cello vibes right now.
Big cello.
I can see it.
She's out here getting bullied.
Big cello vibes.
Big cello vibes. I can see it.
This is why I didn't go to a public school.
It would have been worse.
You know, Townview's a public school.
Townview is a public school. And Townview offers a lot of pathways from being a public school.
Hey, I see brand. Hey, that's that brand placement.
But it's all out of love.
Let's be honest, because if this was Skyline, all y'all, let me hush.
First of all, I would have.
Never mind. Let's not say that.
Well, I mean, business is such a great school, and all in all,
the business.
you learn a lot. Like, obviously, we have great connections with the.
And also the pathway we chose, we have learned a lot and grown from it. As Mr. Briones can see, all of us have grown from where we were at freshman year to now.
Oh, that's what you were talking.
Okay. I was like, are you not noticing why we're actually trying to
segue into the
I do think that anywhere else I wouldn't have fit in as good. As
I would have gotten ability. Oh, I would have gotten.
Nah, crying every week would have been done.
It would have been every day.
Yeah.
Every single day.
We'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah. Well, I think my thing's very valid though.
Yeah, I think. No, 3 years ago, like y'all were coming from the pandemic, and it was a big change for y'all. Because if y'all want to acknowledge it or not, like the pandemic had a huge effect on kids.
Okay, but
mentally, academically, physically, emotionally, it was a lot. It took a toll on y'all, and you can see that now because kids, like behavior wise, are a lot better. Attendance is way better. Grades are way better. Everything is way better.
Are you being for real?
Oh yeah, I've done ASC. This is my second year, and I mean, shoot, we have way less kids that have violations this year. Y'all are in your seats a lot more.
I remember when everybody was on truancy. It was a whole
me.
Everyone.
I think I remember him.
No, you were on my list last year.
Who?
Me?
Last year.
Oh yeah.
Like I would see you.
Me.
Well, I like to think junior year was a really hard year because like I don't know. And I think it's because everyone says it's a hard year, so you think it's a hard year. Because in reality,
it's mental.
It's mental.
Yeah,
it's a mental draining year.
It's a mental journey.
Yes. From a junior, I'll say keep your mentality up. Keep your mentality up.
It doesn't get better, but you know how to do it.
Yes. Also find an emotional support teacher. So.
Okay. Well,
Therapist. No, you should become a therapist.
No,
maybe not.
No, you would never take them seriously.
No.
Hey, but some advice I'll tell y'all real quick. So one thing, and I always love telling kids this, but when you get to high school and you look back at middle school, you're like, oh, it wasn't that bad, or it was easy, or it was this. When you get to college, you do the same thing. When you get to career, you do the same thing. So it's all about perspective now. So you might be like, oh, this is the hardest year I've ever been through. But just think about, okay, in a year from now, and be like, why was I stressing? Why was I struggling? So keep that mindset and just break everything down. I think the worst thing someone can do is waiting the last minute to get something done, because then you're stressing. You're trying to figure out why you're angry, why you're cranky, why everyone's annoying you. Well, it's because you left everything last minute.
But it's the same even with us now, because since us juniors, you know how seniors said that you guys barely started doing your own shows like kind of this year? For us, starting doing it like earlier, it was kind of like, well, if they started it later, we're starting it now. We were kind of scared, but this is what like I don't know how many times I've been host already. I've usually been host for everything I've been to.
Every single one.
But, okay, I've been like, social media for 2 of them and like production for 1. But you're always scared to start doing like what you're not sure what you're even doing, But after you did it like once or twice, you kind of get used to it.
Oh yeah, no, that's when I first started teaching by myself. I could not sleep the day before. I was so nervous. So when I started teaching, I was 22, and because I was doing ELA algebra, I had a student that was 21. So I did the only reasonable thing and lie about my age until I was 25. But it's one of those things where it's like, things are only as big as we build them in our minds. Yeah. That's the reality of it. Start wrapping up. All right, y'all.
You don't gotta say that out loud, but okay, it's fine.
I'm learning, y'all. But all right, well, that was fun, y'all. I'm signing off. They're not yet.
Yeah.
But I hope you have a good night. Be safe. Stay warm. Merry holidays.
Yeah.
Be blessed. Bye, y'all.
It was nice having you on.
Yeah, thank you for having.
Yes.
You're not even my teacher, but you're dope.
No, yeah. But I'll say,
Bye.
I'll say
I guess so.
I'll say one thing that's very true that Mr. Briones said was getting.
Oh,
we're wrapping up the show.
no, we're good.
Do you want?
Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, just
I'll say one thing that is very true. Like getting pushed a little bit to do, mostly for us, I think it was the radio show. Miss Shipman kind of did push us a little bit. She did kind of did push us like a little bit further to do the radio show much earlier than the seniors did. But honestly, I'll say that I'm kind of thankful for it because I won't be having to struggle. I won't have the same difficulties that the seniors had. Like we have more, we would have more experience.
You know, more
whoa, let's go
development,
back.
you
Let's
know,
go back.
everything's
It's
easier.
literally we were so natural at it that we didn't need the time that y'all
but
needed.
Yeah, I don't think that's what happened.
moving
but
on.
okay.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. We were standing on big business,
that
and
natural
y'all were
ability.
sitting on it.
thank you, Big Violet, for that question. For that answer.
I don't know. It's just Violet. I don't think I like big Violet.
Okay. Well, Big Violet. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today for Open House, and thank you so much for all the guests that were with us and answered all our questions about KSBM. My name is Jelly.
I'm AD.
I'm Violet.
I'm Rosie.
And I'm Dulce.
And please make sure to follow us on all our social medias below, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Stand on business. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to KSBM Radio, the voice of Townview.
My radio station.
We hope you enjoyed the great content and great discussion, all from a student's perspective. Make sure to follow us on Twitter for the latest updates at KSBM_TVT or on Facebook at KSBM Radio.
Add 'em on Facebook.
Check them on Facebook.
Take care.